The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Gospel of Luke, chapter 5, verses 1 to 11. Once, while Jesus was standing beside the lake of Gennesaret, and the crowd was pressing in on him to hear the word of God, he saw two boats there at the shore of the lake. The fishermen had gone out of them and were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, and one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little way from the shore. Then he sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we have worked all night long but have caught nothing. Yet if you say so, I will let down the nets." When they had done this, they caught so many fish that their nets were beginning to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boats to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." For he and all who were with him were amazed at the catch of fish that they had taken. And so also were James and John, son of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching people." When they had brought their boats to shore, they left everything and followed him. This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Launch out into deep water. Launch out into deep water. Launch out into deep water. Dear sisters, it is indeed a beautiful morning, and I am happy to stand before you in this beautiful morning, also with my beloved priest, in a special way to thank God for everything that God has been to us in and through you. I am happy to see these beautiful sisters as well. It is indeed beautiful. I am sure throughout past 99 years, almost 100 years, you all have dedicated yourself completely for our service. And we have experienced that. When we look at you, we see Jesus in you. We have experienced, and we continue to experience that with confidence and hope. Dear sisters, John Paul II, especially in the inauguration of third millennium, he wrote a special letter. In this letter, he has mentioned about new evangelization. New evangelization. Under this new evangelization, he has mentioned three important things which are very important as you celebrate your Jubilee celebrations actually. What are these three important things that he invited actually in 2000? The first one is be renewed. In fact, he was asking this from all the religious. Be renewed. Renewal is very important, and without renewal, without experience, that personal conversion, we won't be able to achieve anything. Be renewed. And that should be a personal transformation. Secondly, reform. Reformation is also very important, dear sisters. Of course, he speaks about reform, the norms and rules and regulations in the constitution, in the congregation. So we have to reform if you want to move forward. Otherwise, we will remain in the same phase. Or we will have a natural death. Third, reposition. Reposition. This is also very important because we can't remain in the same place. According to the times, we have to change ourselves, we have to position ourselves in the correct place. Otherwise, we will have once again a natural death. So therefore, John Paul II Pope was very clear when he explained that, when he explained about new evangelization. If we want to have new evangelization, we have to have these three things: renewal, reform, and reposition. Dear sisters, together with this, let us go into today's gospel passage, because I am going to share with you not about reform or reposition. I am going to share with you something about renewal. Be renewed. In this passage we find Jesus says, launch out into deep water. Launch out into deep water. Let us allow these words to touch us. It's very important. That is where we experience peace, happiness, and contentment in life. When you allow this beautiful word to touch our lives. Launch out into deep water. We know this gospel passage, it's very clear. Luke chapter 5 verse 1 to 11. Jesus was by the side of this lake, Gennesaret. And there was a large crowd, and they wanted to listen to him, and he found difficult to stay there. So therefore he saw two boats, and he got into one of the boats, the boat of Simon Peter, and he started preaching. And at the end he said these words. It's very clear. Let us go in. After that he said, launch out into deep water. How can we understand this? Dear sisters, the Greek word used here when we talk about launch out into deep water is bathos. Bathos means not just launching into the deep sea. It's something deeper than that. The real meaning is going out into unknown world, going into the core of our being. This is very important. Launch out into deep water means we have to find out our own selves, scope of our being, and searching for the unknown world that is within my own being. And that is where we can have the renewal, not by anything else, not by having buildings, not by external things, but by having that internal renewal within my own being. So therefore, in other words, dear sisters, going out into unknown world means nothing else. Leave our comfort zone. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. These are beautiful words. To leave our comfort zone, and that is where we all, as religious especially, that is where we make our mistake. To leave our comfort zone. We want to remain in that same place, in that same position. To live in the comfort zone is a real challenge. But today, as you have already completed 99 years, we are looking ahead another 100 years. Of course, after celebrating this centenary jubilee, you are looking forward another 100 years until the ends of the world. So you have to remain. If you want to remain, we have to leave our comfort zone. We know what it is. I am sure you have done a lot of retreats. I am not going to explain to you about that. But in the light of this gospel, I just want to share with you, when we want to leave out our comfort zone, dear sisters, we have to face 5 consequences. These are given in today's gospel. What are these? First, you will be scared and try to give excuses when you want to leave your comfort zone. This is what happened to Peter. Peter said, Lord, I am tired. Whole night we worked. Nothing happened. Useless. We have worked so much. These are excuses, dear sisters. These are excuses. In our spiritual life, this can happen. This can definitely happen when we want to leave our comfort zone, giving excuses. Sometimes we say, no one is perfect. Why not? No one is perfect, so I can do the same thing as well. I remember one priest, he was telling even during the Mass even, it seems, he had this problem of homosexuality. So he said, it seems, you have to understand me. This is what I have inherited. Even my bishop knows. So you have to understand. These are excuses, dear sisters. So when we want to leave our comfort zone, this is how we can excuse. We say, no one is perfect. I am not perfect. That's why I am sharing with you. He was explaining that. This is where the devil is, and devil becomes very powerful. And then we can say, God will forgive, so why not we commit the same sin? It's all right. We have a sacrament. God forgives. And then we can say, everybody does the same thing. My superior does the same thing. And other senior members in the congregation, in the committee, they do the same thing. Even my provincial. So why not I? They all have handphones. They all have laptops. So why not I? This is for my ministry. We don't want to let go, my dear sisters. Comfort zone is the danger that we all experience. So everybody does the same thing. So we try to, in a way, compare. I just remember one story, just 13-year-old boy went to his father and told, Father, I want to get married. Just 13 years old. Father asked, you want to get married? You are just 13 years old. How can you get married? Anyhow, father was curious to know who the girlfriend is. So father went to the son and asked, okay, tell me, who is your girlfriend? Oh, father, my girlfriend is my Archie, my grandma. Then father asked, how can that you get married your grandma? Father, if you can get married my mother, why can't I get married your mother? We can compare and we can justify and we can hold on to the same sin or whatever the material things that as religious that we all are having. We can also have a bank account, not in my name, but in the name of my brother, sister. It's challenging when we want to leave the comfort zone. The second consequence is, you will fail, sir, fail. These days it is common. You will definitely fail. This is what happened even here. Their nets were beginning to break. And we know what happened to Peter. Peter, Jesus said, you come on walking. But he saw the difficulties and it was blowing. He started looking at left and right, started sinking. You will fail. When you want to leave the comfort zone, dear sisters, you will fail. Not only junior sisters, even seniors, you can be in your 80s, but you will fail, but try to continue to do the same thing. Third, you will see yourself in a different way. Bible says today, St. Peter says, I am a sinner, please go away. You will see yourself in a different way. Lord, I am a sinner, please go away. So my dear sisters, when we leave our comfort zone, definitely you will see you in a different way. You will also give excuses. And then, dear sisters, fourth, we find here, you will have to leave everything. We find Gospel says, they left everything and followed him. You will have to leave everything. You have left everything. You have to look at your pioneers, the 4 sisters who came here. I think they went to Trincomalee. They left everything. I don't think that they have gone back. They left everything. But today when you ask to go to Madurankulia or to go to Jaffna or go to other place, we find difficult. Some of us want to remain in Colombo always. Fifth, you will achieve more than before. This is the hope given to us. You will achieve more than before. There it is said in the Bible, dear sisters, very clearly, they left everything and then they received everything. They received everything. So therefore, it is challenging, but we have to let go. We have to let go our comfort zone. I remember I had a friend, Brother Vasanta, Franciscan brother. We both were in the seminary together both were from same village, Valley area. When we were in the seminary, he told me one day, Dilan, when we become priest, we should not continue to do, we should not just become priests. We should do something different. He told me, we should do something different. That time, of course, I didn't understand very much what he told me. Then I became a priest. He was still a brother. One day I was preaching at Telanduva church. Early in the morning I received a phone call. Brother Vasanta has passed away. He has gone to the sea with some of other Franciscan brothers. And then, of course, I went early in the morning there and saw the dead body. So what has happened, when they were taking bath, he has seen another young boy struggling for his life. So this brother, he couldn't swim even, but he jumped and he wanted to save that boy. Both of them died. Dear sisters, When I went there only I realized what He's told me. We should do something different. He has done it even before becoming a priest. Today I am still struggling, to be frank with you. Today I am still struggling to leave my comfort zone. I am still struggling with my chastity. I am still struggling with my poverty. I am still struggling with my obedience. And we also take perseverance, thank God. I am continuing with my perseverance for past 25 years. But I am still struggling with other 3 vows. So Jesus is inviting to you and to me, if you want to move forward, if you want to remain another 100 years, launch out into deep water. Amen.